With this pen, I am able to write underwater and lots of other words as well. Welcome to the latest update on the allotments and gardens, part of an adventure in taste and time. This week, not a lot to say at the allotment because I've been a little bit pushed for time, but the great thing is we're eating stuff now, and the last week we've had boiled potatoes, broiled beans, salad leaves, spring onions. Yesterday I stir fried some chard and beetroot, and other things are up and coming. Oh, and strawberries. And then we'll come back, have a little chat about succession seed planning and to look around the garden. So let's go. Morning, and it's a Sunday morning. Usually Sundays when I do the allotment tour. I don't know if this microphone will pick it up or not, but there's a church bell in the distance calling to prayer. I've done some weeding around the orchard area, and over here I've just noticed I keep putting off finishing weeding or restarting. So much to do. I keep reweeding the raspberries, but we have got raspberries forming. I won't go through everything that I've planted because, yes, the rhubarb's big, fine, good, things like that. But over here, these lettuces are growing. And the reason I put them here is so that they're in this sort of partial shade of the polytunnel to try and sort of slow down their bolting, which probably is working because if you look at these lettuces, which are in full sunlight, they're noticeably bigger. But that's great. Mentioned before, these lettuces are bolted, so I've grubbed up all the bolted ones except for this one because it's giving a bit of shade to these two other types of lettuce around its base to sort of slow down their bolting. A little bit worried in the tomato house in that they're wilting, but they're not dehydrating. It just may be a bit too hot for them. So while I'm here, I think I'll just leave the vents. There are a couple of vents. I'll just leave them open all the time, particularly during this hot weather. And I keep seeing trusses, suckers that I've let grow. So I've really got to sit down, get back on my hands and knees, which I thought I'd done, and go through them all. So that's quite an urgent job. The summer crooknecks are beginning to look like flowering. I'm not sure whether I should let them flower at this stage or let them take the flowers off and let them grow. What do you think? In the brassica cage, still, these weeds are still here. But look at the size of the brassicas. They're all doing great. So hopefully we'll have some nice summer cabbage. There is some aphid damage, but well, what can you do? Well, again, comments if you've got any good ideas. And this is kale, which is also nicely growing from Hello Bridget, thanks for that. Very kind gift. Right. And the sweet corn, again, he's weeding, but yeah, I haven't mentioned that in a few weeks, but you can see that it's growing very nicely, if a little inundated with weeds. Broad beans are coming to an end, but there's still plenty. Sunday tends to be harvest day, and let's have a look under the carrot cage, raised bed, But on one side we still have a few parsnips, so probably not a great success, but there'll be enough for Christmas dinner, so part of the Christmas dinner project. But look at this. Look at that bad boy. They look ready for could harvest that carrot. Maybe we will. I do remember some weeks ago I put this netting around the peas because the birds were, not the netting, this wire, were getting taken off the tops, and the peas, we noticed, these are forming, these are going to be ready soon. Lord Leicester, which is quite a rare breed, if that's the right expression. But then, of course, as they rose up, the birds suddenly found interest again, and so that's why I've suddenly had to, yesterday, I had wanted to do some other jobs, I ended up having to find these massive clips that were in the shed from my predecessor, and put this scaffolding netting over the top. I need to get some. I have some smaller clips at home which I forgot to bring. Strawberries. Finding there's a bit too many, and to be honest, the crop at one end is a bit too soft for everyone's liking. But we'll keep picking, and but I want to have a look, show you the blueberries, because if you look, we have got genuine blueberries growing. Nice, well-defined pattern. So, but this end of strawberries, they are a bit firmer, a bit more classic. Maybe they're a bit too close together, but these are growing, these tomatoes. And down there, that one was one I thought might die, was not doing very well at home, and has got the memo and has come along. So lastly, in the greenhouse, well, these are doing fine. These are all cucumbers, and also the basil I grew. We had some with the salad yesterday. Taken all the basil plants taken from 160p pot of growing basil from a German supermarket and split up, and we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 basil plants growing from that one pot. But over here, look, a cucumber. So it's all becoming worth it. So being Sunday, it's also harvest day. We'll get a few potatoes and what else? Got some beetroot, roast some beetroot for later. So yeah, and broad beans. So they're going to go with dinner with some roasted beef ribs. One thing I realised is that watering the plots in this dry weather is no trivial matter. Now, off to Philosophy Corner. Time to start thinking about the rest of the year. No, time to start thinking about the rest of the year and next year. Because we've got to think about succession planting, as it's called. And I've just had some thoughts already. I won't talk to you now about things like normal lettuce, spring onions, radishes, arguably chard, which we will be, growing, which is quite quick growing. But some things, starting with what we might be growing for harvesting later this year. Something I've never tried before is fennel, and I believe we can get a bulb out of this year if I plant soon. Pak choi, is that going to be later this year, early or going into next year? Hopefully, that'd be nice. And then some things which are definitely for overwintering for this year and next year would be land cress. It is an overwintering herb, American land cress. I've got claytona, miner's letters, or winter purslane, all those words from Real Seeds with their beautiful packaging. That is a lettuce type plant which we know will grow over the winter, and also from Real Seeds, winter lettuce, winter marvel. Is that winter marvel? Yes, winter marvel, winter lettuce. So that'll keep us hopefully in fresh greens through the winter, and perhaps also apparently in this month you can sow Savoy cabbages, and I saw this one going, and that is probably going to be next year. In the garden, right over here, microgreens, flax, kind of red radish, mustard, and this is supposed to be cress, but it's actually a mixture of mustard and cress because I forgot what I was doing while I was splashing out the seeds. The flax and the mustard I bought reduced from stuff that's going out of date, might even be 2 years ago, and the seeds obviously for cooking, not for gardening, and the seeds obviously are perfectly good still, because as you see they're sprouting, so you can't get more balanced than that. In the greenhouse, the cucumbers, apart from this one, I don't know what happened, but I'll put it out, are getting ready to go out, and the autumn squash is beginning to look like there are roots appearing at the bottom of the pot, so I think I'm going to repot. I like those to be pretty well established before I plant them out anywhere, because last year or the year before I didn't let them get that big and they got trashed by something. Basil, this not a huge germination rate, but these are now growing quite quickly, which is nice to see. Over here are the French beans. As you see, not a huge germination, but I'm going to keep watering it for another week, see what happens. Maybe I should have done what some people advise, which is to sprout them first in the in between kitchen paper. I was going to say kitchen foil, that probably wouldn't work too well. No sign yet of, oh look, these are suffering. They've been in direct daylight, and the spring onions on the left, nothing, and germinated, but on the right, beetroot has been suffering because of direct sunlight. So that needs to go along with everything else over to the sort of partly sheltered seedling bench. We're even trying to keep things in the shade has been tricky over the last few days. Brassicas have dried, they need watering now. More mixed radishes, dill and coriander I want to grow more of, leeks are there. Cauliflowers, some more cauliflowers for the winter. And finally, just germinating now are another mix of lettuces to succeed the ones in the plot when they're finished. So there we are. Hope you have a great week ahead, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.